Hello, hello, Stampers. Welcome once again to Make It Monday, but on a Tuesday this week. I was coming back from Calgary because dear Kira was in another competition. That's the reason why I couldn't come live, because I was in my car driving home. She did very well, so it was worth the trip. We're pretty excited. I'm a proud mama when it comes to lawn bowling. Although I didn't take any pictures this time around, I kind of left my phone away from me. So that's the reason why no one's probably heard anything about it. But I'm excited. She won the tournament. She got gold, came in first place for singles, and her pairs team came in third and got bronze. So it was pretty cool. Hey, Joy, welcome. So this week I am stamping with Basic Beige as the last shade of summer color. You guys, I cannot believe that we are in week 5 of summer already since I started this little stamping challenge for myself. We've gotten through 4 of the 5 colors, so now this week I'm stamping with a color that I'm not too sure I would normally focus on, but it is a beautiful color. I love it as a side color, and I have to say I made 1 card today. Hey, Kim. And I'm really happy with how it kind of came out because we actually have Beige Designer Series paper that matches. And so that's what I'm going to play with tonight. And in fact, why don't I just jump in and show you what some of that paper looks like. Although before I do, because you know what, let's let a few people get on. Hey, Sue. I want to start playing because like I usually have a cup. I can't show you my face because I'm doing this from my laptop and I only can have 1 camera. But I do have my rose gold Stanley mug with me. I am loving the steel thermos mugs, but I have something inside. So what do you think is inside my cup? Is it water? Is it ice? Or is it a Slurpee? 3 choices. Those seem to be the 3 things that I always have in all my mugs this summer. So I'll let you guys kind of think about that, and I'll share it again here a little bit at the end because I'll get people to kind of comment on what they think is in my mug, and you know what? I'll find a prize for that. So someone remind me. Okay. The other thing is last Monday, I totally forgot to give away the prize. I was supposed to post it on Wednesday night who the winner was of the hashtag Summer Stripes from the cards that we made. I don't even remember which cards. Whoops, it was these cards, I think. Anyway, so I did do it, you guys, and I will post it. The winner was Gloria. So congratulations, Gloria. But I realized coming on here that I didn't post it in the group yet, so I will get that done. Lorette, hello, welcome. Yeah, so that's what's happening. I also don't know if you guys got that whoopsie email today from Stampin' Up, but there is a fun promotion coming in August with Designer Series paper going to be on sale. 15% off. So one of the fun paper collection that you might want to pick up is this Country Lace. I am absolutely in love with it. There is not too many Designer Series paper packs in full that I absolutely love. Usually it's like 1 or 2 pieces, but this particular paper pack, I love every single pattern in it. And it's probably because it has a very shabby style to it. It looks very worn. It's almost like denim look, but it's all very, very worn. I love it, I love it, I love it. But I'm excited to share that what I'm going to do with that Designer Series paper promotion coming, it starts August 6th, is anyone who purchases Designer Series paper from me, I'm going to print for you whatever the Designer Series paper sampler is, and I will print it for you to put it with your order. If you're a heart stamper and you're in this group, once I get them all created, I'm going to upload them in the group. You can print your own and make your own. But I will print on cardstock just so that folks can kind of make their own sampler. What I do with my samplers is I cut the paper 2 by 2, and then I take a 1-inch circle punch and I cut the coordinating colors just so that I have it all in one place, because I don't know if you saw, I keep all my 12 by 12 in a sleeve, including all the scraps. And so I really do like to have this sampler that shows me all the different patterns, so that if I'm trying to decide, you know, what I'm looking for or what might coordinate with something I'm making, it's easy for me to grab this than to go through all the paper. But what I also like about having this in my paper pack is when I go to sell my retired product, which I haven't done lately, I still want to, I plan on it before the end of summer. I do like to have this in there because, one, it reminds me how much I paid for this. And this matters to you too, because if you go to sell some of your old product later on down the road in years gone by, and you want to try and recoup some of your money, you'll remember how much you paid for it. So it has the order number on here. So in case you're watching this and you want to order the country lace, you can just either, I mean, the Stampin' Up! Ordering system has gotten really easy. You can just type in country lace in the search, it'll come up, but the order number's here. And then, of course, how much it is in the catalog. And then I have in here the coordinating colors. So not only do I punch them out, they're also listed here, because sometimes you might be like, oh, what color is that again? You might not remember the name, so it's very helpful to kind of have it up here. But then you have the samples on here, one, to kind of remind yourself what's in the pack, but two, again, to see what might coordinate with other things. So that's just going to be a little perk that you'll see coming and posted in the group. So remember, if in August, when that sale is on, if you order Designer Series paper, I will print off on cardstock that sampler for you to go with your order for whichever pieces you have. But I will upload the files for everyone else. Okay. So I do love this, as I just said, because of all the shabbiness that comes in it. However, take a look at all of those fun patterns and colors. And take a look at all of the coordinating basic beige. So although I'm on this, you know, Shades of Summer kick the last week, there actually is some fun product to stamp and make things with. I could not believe how many different patterns there were in this pack. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns, and I'll show them to you in big form. But until I went to make this sampler, I did not realize how many different patterns, because the card I made today, this was one of the patterns I had pulled out a few weeks ago to play with, but I didn't realize it wasn't just the only one in the kit. Anyways, be reminded of the colors that are in all of your Designer Series packs, because that is a super awesome bonus. Okay, so I pulled them out largely to kind of show you. It almost looks like watercolor or water-stained wallpaper in an old antique house. That's what that reminds me of. I could see things being done with a haunted house, or even like some retro Christmas crafting with this as background paper, and you can ink it up, distress it. It'll look amazing. This is the same thing, worn out wallpaper, but this is almost like it's bedroom wallpaper. Almost like, I don't even know, maybe it's a fancy living room wallpaper, but look how distressed it is. I think it's fun. And then this looks like worn out denim, maybe a worn out sweater. I don't know how that's coming through there. I've not quite figured out the lighting. Does the lighting look okay to you guys? Maybe give me a thumbs up if the lighting seems okay to you. Or if it needs to be brighter or lighter, let me know. And then this one has like a floral pattern to it. This almost reminds me of like the tin bashed backdrops that they used to have in kitchens. Granted, they were silver, but pardon me, this is in basic beige. It is a fun pattern as well. So much to choose from. Now, of course, there's patterns on the other side, but look at that. It's mostly smoky slate. Love those stripes. But I'm not playing with smoky slate today. Today I'm playing with basic beige. So I'll have to decide, or actually maybe I'm going to ask for your help. We'll see if the comments come up. I don't know what I'm making today. Well, I have some things in the back of my mind. So let's pick two of these or actually first, let's just pick one of these patterns to play with. And And starting on the left-hand side, this will be 1. Do you want number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Do you think I should play with today? Of course, I'm going to be using cardstock because Basic Beige color is a new cardstock neutral that's in our catalog this year. We've got Basic Beige cardstock. We have the Basic Beige ink pad. We have the Basic Beige designer series paper that's in that pack. And we also have, I think there's an ink refill. I hope there is. I didn't order it yet, if there is though. And then we've got the ribbon that's in Basic Beige. So there's lots to play with. And then of course, being that it's a neutral color, it has a lot of potential to coordinate with a lot of other colors. And I am wanting to test something this afternoon, mixing it up with a couple other shades of summer colors. Now I'm just looking in the catalog right now to figure out ink refills. Ink. I'm just looking in, here we go, ink refills, 135. I was close. Thank goodness for that appendix. That's all I can say. Okay, so Basic Beige, yes, there is an ink refill, so I have to order one because I did not order one yet. So anyways, that's all the fun stuff we're going to play with. And so yeah, you guys are just putting in which designer series paper I should play with first, number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I see a 4 vote. I see a couple of 1 votes. Okay, excellent, excellent. I guess because what I see is more 1s than 4, unless a couple other people put their vote in, we will be using number 1. Well, actually, maybe I'll take number 4 as well to the side, and we'll use that one second if I need a secondary one. How about that? What's nice is these are both the darker shades where you can really see it more than the other papers. So good choice, people. Okay, so so my little philosophy on paper crafts is it is so simple. It is easy as 1, 2, 3. And my process is I always start with paper. So I know that I'm stamping with Basic Beige. So I went and found some paper. So designer series paper is where I went to, which is Basic Beige. And I will find some coordinating cardstock because I want a card base, something that's thicker. And so this is step number 1. Step number 1, pick your paper. And this is already if you don't have something in mind, right? If you're just wanting to start stamping or making something for someone, this is a good process, or it works really well for me. Hi, Sherry, welcome. So I start with my paper. And so with my paper, I end up picking my inks. I grab my inks based on what will coordinate with my paper. So I know that Basic Beige will coordinate. Oh, I also am going to want to add some white cardstock because I know I'm going to want to stamp some greetings. And then if I want to throw in some other colors, I can. So I could use like a basic black neutral ink to go with this as well. But I'm really liking Crumb Cake and Pebbled Path. Both of these are kind of like darker shades that might go a little bit better than like a bold black. So kind of depending on how much black I'm adding, I might use the black ink if I was using some black cardstock with it. But to me, these inks I think will work. I'm staying very neutral, which is so bizarre. I might even change that up though, and I'll tell you why here in a second, because I'm obsessed with soft seafoam as a color, as well as Pool Party with Basic Beige. So Pool Party was a shade of summer. The soft seafoam I've just used with the shades of summer. But I think that they're light colors and it adds color with the Basic Beige. So those are my kind of choices now, was I pick coordinating ink to go with my project. So I'm going to ask you guys to make another vote, please. Do I stamp my projects in color? Or do I stamp my projects in neutral? What would you like to see tonight? Although I'll probably end up doing both because this other technique I want to do I mean, I shared the technique with you guys already recently, but I want to make it again because it turned out really good. It's just fun. Okay, so I see a vote for color. Yay! And don't forget, you guys are guessing what's in my cup. Do I got Slurpee, ice, or water in my mug? And it's my my thermos mug. You guys can't see it too good because I don't have it flipped. Okay, I see a few votes for color, so yay, color it is. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So once I got my paper picked, I have my coordinating ink pads. This is step number 2 in the process. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Then I find a stamp set to coordinate. So one, I might have a theme in mind already because of an event coming up, or maybe I'm just making something for fun that'll coordinate with this, but I'll show you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of making a baby card. My niece is having a baby shower next month while I'm gone, so I have to have it all pre-done so I can leave it behind before I leave. And it's a super cute stamp set, and of course it has a coordinating die set. Just a little one, but look how itsy bitsy some of that stuff is. So I could make a baby card based on using the cutest onesie, or I could do some other card using sketched butterflies. I think they'll both, either or, will go nice with basic beige. So I'm going to get you guys to vote on the stamp set that I'm going to use. Are we going to do, we'll call it baby and butterflies. Baby and butterfly. So take your vote what I should stamp with. So that's how easy my stamping process is. This is how I go about to make projects. I pick my paper, take my coordinating inks, and then I find myself the stamp set that I want to use. Because sometimes I might know I'm doing a birthday card, but you know what? Maybe some birthday stamp doesn't go with the designer series paper that I picked, or something like that. So I like that system, works for me. I love it. And then of course, you know, if you're a more advanced stamper, you're going to add in some more embellishments and maybe some blends. And then if you've got a cut and emboss machine, you're going to add in some dies. Okay, I see a couple of votes for butterflies. I see one vote for baby. So we'll have to see. Keep the votes coming in. And so by the time we start stamping, we will see what we end up getting. Since you guys picked color, I'm going to start with the technique because I need some time for it to dry. So again, just recently I did this technique. I don't remember what week it was or what we were doing. Maybe one of you will remember and you'll remind me. But we are using a block. Pardon me, and I'm going to use these inks and we're going to do a little bit of water painting. And so what I'm doing with these inks is I'm just giving myself a good coating of them on an acrylic block. So I'm kind of filling up this block in thirds. I'm filling up that corner with Pool Party, this corner with Basic Beige, and this corner with Soft Sea Foam. Now I'm going to pull out my water painters, and I really want to find my round brushes, but for whatever reason, I only have either the fine tip one or I have the super thick one, which is driving me nuts because it's kind of not the drops I'm looking for. And I need to cut myself some paper. So we are going to stamp on some paper. So I've cut a piece of 5.5 by 3.5 paper. We're going to do that. And in fact, I want to trim this one to the same. It's just a size that I'm loving for tags right now. 3.5 by 5.5. And we're going to see. We're going to try and turn this into a couple of projects. Okay, I love, 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 love this. But like I said, I'm pulling out my thick brush. But I've also filled up some water in like my laundry soap little plastic dish. You guys, I couldn't find a little dish for the like of me down here. And you know what? I don't know know what your laundry room is like, but I literally have like 15 of these things rolling around the floor, on the counter, like in the cupboard. I'm like, why don't I just pull out one of these to use as a cup? It works perfect. So there you go. If you're looking for a little water cup, I'm sure you will find one down in your laundry room. And the reason why I'm using this is because for whatever reason, I don't know if my brush is plugged, but even though it says push on the, oh, you can't see that, push on the aqua painter, it actually says that right here, push here. So if you didn't know that, that's where you squeeze to kind of let air in. And so you're supposed to squish it up, you know, a little bit to add water in, and then when you just squeeze it, the water is supposed to drip into the brush. And it does, it makes it moist, but it's not like the old blue ones where it would like drip out everywhere. And so I need to get a lot more water on my brush. That's the reason for the little container. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to start with one color. And in fact, I'm going to start with the lightest color. So I'm going to pick up the green. And all I'm going to do is pretend to be an artist. I'm just going to brush some circles, maybe some stripes, just a few little designs everywhere. Now that only is enough ink on there for one card. So once I'm done that, I'm going to rinse off, and then we're going to move to the next color. I'm going to move into the pool party. Now I am doing this more light on purpose because I don't want this to be a dark card. I want this to be really subtle. And there is some overlap that I'm doing, but I'm literally just messing. You guys, you're bringing out the Picasso in yourself. Have faith that you can do it wonderfully. You see, all I'm doing is smudging it. It's the water that's helping it flow to make it amazing. So now I'm going in to fill in the gaps with some of the basic beige to fill in where the basic beige cardstock is. I'm not filling in the whole thing, but you could if you wanted. I'm just like filling in all the gaps. It's almost like I'm making another camouflage card. Here's another idea for a way to make different camouflage colors. But as you can see, it's just all mixed in. It's kind of blending. It's blotchy. I'm just going to set that aside to dry. I have one that's already done. When it dries, look at it, did dry flat, which is really, really nice. But it just has like a nice artistic background. Now you could really pump this up a little bit and run it through the cut and emboss and embossing folder, and it will look beautiful. But I'm not too sure what I want to do with that yet. It's not part of the first project I want to share with you, or is it? No, I don't think so. We're going to let that play, but I just want to show you how fun color on this beige cardstock looks. It is so fun. We're going to try and incorporate it somewhere in this project tonight. I'm just not too sure where yet. I just love it. I think I want to stamp on it first and then maybe run it through the embossing folder. I don't know. It's just too pretty that I don't want to do it. And it is way prettier in real life. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like water blotches, right? And in fact, I almost want, and I'm scared to do this because am I going to mess it up? I have one of my old ones that I can put in the water. And I want to try flicking some water stains on it and see what it looks like. Except nothing's coming off. Okay, we're going to let that sit and we're going to see what the water stains end up looking like. Okay, I'm scared. I'm very scared. But I want to do those water stains after the whole thing dries. I don't want to do it while all of this is wet. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the same effect, right? I'll show you the difference. Hopefully that'll dry by the time we're done crafting. Okay, I also realized I did not grab a wet cloth. Maybe Tom's hearing me whine again and will come downstairs and get me a white cloth. But anyways, let's start again. This is the same size of piece of paper that I ended up what am I trying to say? To do this water smushing with. So this is the 3.5 by 5. I've got a couple of things I want to try. So as part of online exclusives, there are some little dies. Sorry, I didn't pull them out ahead of time. I'm trying to find them. They are called Happy Little Things dies. Oh, I didn't end up. Okay, we got butterflies and one baby. Okay, 3 butterflies. I gotta do butterflies. Okay, never mind. Forget this. But those little tiny things, you need them with a baby card because look at, they fit perfectly with all of those little words. Just saying. You'll probably see me make something and post it as part of Shades of Summer posting this week, so stay tuned. We are going to play with Brighten Up My Day, but you know what? Now that we're using butterflies, you guys, I have to use this on the butterfly card. I have to. Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. But I just answered my own question, except now I went and made that wet, waiting for it to dry. Let me just grab a heat tool to heat that because I want to stamp on this now. Oh. See, I didn't want to use it if I was making a baby card, but I want to use it for a butterfly card because butterflies are spotted, right? And they're not perfect. They're unique in every way. So make sure if you're trying this technique that you give yourself time to let it sit. I love making a whole bunch of them, and then that way they're ready to go when I want to craft. Okay, so yes, remember heat tool number 1 setting is what you use to dry your paper or to heat emboss paper or ink. So for the most part, it's all stopped. But do you see? You can see the water spots that made it even more water. Like you made, like I just made my own watercolor and paper, you guys. I am not an artist. I'm not a watercolor. I'm not a painter. But how fun and easy was that just to smush around some colors? It was awesome. Okay. So, here is what it looks like without the water splatter. Here's what it looks like with. Obviously, I got this one a little darker than the one I did previously, but it's also could be because it's not fully dry yet. It's still kind of wet. Okay, so we are going to stamp with that, although, look it, that's not the right size. I said I was doing this size. Oh, man. Okay. Oh well, I'm going to have to make this one work, you guys. It's not what I wanted to do, but hey, improvise. Okay, hey Marilee, you're saying that you saw some of these butterflies on your trip. That is awesome. How pretty to see. Now, the one thing about the butterfly stamp set is it is in our cling mount. So it's not a see-through stamp, but that just means because there's finer detail, it is going to stand out and it's going to have a much more crisper, cleaner image, like stamped image. And if you're someone who does mixed media, you appreciate kind of the foam, how these stamp just because of the thickness of the rubber, as well as the foam to help kind of get the pressure in. It's a wonderful medium for those who do other crafts other than card making. Okay, and it's just, again, it helps to get the crisp images throughout. So we're going to use, I don't know if I want to use the big butterfly or the little one, so I'm just going to prep both of them. And then maybe some words. Actually, I think we need multiple sizes of this. Sorry, I haven't used this yet. In fact, both the butterflies and the baby stamp set I have not used. Do any of you guys have stamps that are not used that still aren't put together? Or is it just me? I buy stamps and, you know, eventually get to them. I know it's not just me, but I want to know which ones of you still haven't put all yours together. Hopefully, if you have this set, this will inspire you to pull it out and stamp and try this technique. And I mean, you don't have to use the basic beige. You can do it with any piece of cardstock, but I'm so used to watercoloring on white that I wanted to try to see if it would work on this cardstock. And it did so beautifully that I think it is like a must-have for this butterfly set. Because I like this set because it looks a little sketchy. It's not perfect. You guys all know I hate perfect. Okay. Gloria, too many. Guess you better get at them. I don't know. I used to, when I was taking the bus, pre-lockdowns, I used to take with me 5 a day on the bus. Obviously I had way too many. And I'd sit on the bus and I'd like mount them and get them all ready. And they were ready to go, or anytime I had a new one. Or if you're someone who maybe goes and watches your kids' sports, you can grab a couple of your new ones and take them with you and do that while you're watching that. I mean, I don't recommend doing it in front of the TV because then you're missing out on what the moral of the story is. Unless you can actually, you know, absorb that information and do something at the same time. But the older I get, the less I can do that. So I don't recommend that at all. You want to enjoy your TV show, so you don't miss out on what's happening. Okay, I shouldn't put this whole thing together, but I am. You brighten so many of my days. Oh my gosh, I love that saying. Thinking of you, you brighten so many of my days. Oh, I love it. In fact, I should make thank you cards. I was just in Calgary, and I ended up working there on Friday and Monday. And my colleagues who were there, they took such good care of me and took me to a fantastic restaurant. If you guys are ever in Calgary, you need to go to the Holy Grill. Oh my gosh, it was so good. They did deep fried beet chips, which were fantastic. Highly recommend. Plus they had a yummy beet salad, and they all said they have good burgers there. Like, everything is good. So highly recommend if you're ever in Calgary. Apparently there's a couple of them there. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And a thank you. Okay. And then I won't, you know what, I'm like, I won't torture you for the rest, but you know what's going to happen is I'm going to start making this and I'm going to be like, oh, I want to use that one, and then it's not put together. So I apologize. You guys have to watch me put this together. But in the meantime, while I'm putting this together, if you haven't voted, what's in my cup right now? Do we have ice, water, or a Slurpee? Those are the three things that you will find in my cup all summer long. I don't put coffee or iced coffee or anything like that in these, and I'm just too worried about cleaning it. I mean, they all come apart and they clean nicely, but I need to be able to rinse and go and then just wash them kind of every few days, so we don't want them to get all yucky. I do have multiples. This is why I'm saying that. Okay, what do you guys keep in your thermos cups? Okay. Kim, you've just admitted you have lots that still aren't put together. I know, I went to go put a whole bunch of my retired stuff to get ready to sell, and I'm opening them, looking at them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I used one stamp. Or, whoops, I haven't put these together yet. Okay, so I don't know if you saw what I did. That's how you take them apart and put them together. But I keep this, I guess, I use that as a template, the rubber that they all came in. And that way I know which one's missing if I've got some out. So that's why I like to do that. Now we're gonna put onto blocks. I would like to see this little butterfly. I would like to see the little butterflies. Will that fit on one of those blocks? Kind of, but not perfectly. Just wait. I just don't want any of the edges to be off the block. You want to be careful about that because sometimes it seems like it fits, but the image itself might be off on the rounded piece, and then you won't get the nice crisp image that you should get. So we're just going to put it on one of those blocks. And then I should have one more of those blocks somewhere. But they're still inked up from the last time I did some color project. Okay, let's see what else I have. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think that's going to fit the butterfly. I don't want to do too big of a butterfly. Oh, actually, I think this is on my block. That one will work. Okay. Now, I do want something under my surface. In fact, I should be using my glass mat is what I should be using. Okay. This is getting stuck on me. I am choosing to do my butterflies in basic beige, just since that is the highlight of my card. So I am going to take this sketch butterfly and I'm going to put 3 in there. And I'm going to just start up here and I'm going to go slightly off, and that's okay. And then I'm going to tilt this the other way. Whoops, I didn't get it all on there. You see that? Oh, I messed up. But look how lovely it looks blended in that. Oh my gosh, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, I'm going to do fillers with some of these little butterflies. And so I may not get them all on the page, but enough just to kind of fill them in. And I might have room. Now I don't want to overdo this butterfly, but I am going to just put maybe a wing off the side there. I'm going to do it, testing it. I had room for one big one, and maybe I'll just do the big wing off the side up there. Oh, I still have some gaps, but that's okay. I can fill that in afterwards. But what I can do is I'm going to do a little bit of ink splatter using my Pool Party. And we're just going to add a little bit of splatter because you know what? This is art. We did that little blah, blah, blah. Now, there is no blend for the basic beige. I'm hoping it'll come out one day. We can just hope, but I'm going to use the soft sea foam in dark to add some splatter. But I do want to add a darker color, so I'm going to add in Crumb Cake. Not Pebble Path because I don't want it that dark, but I'm going to add in some light Crumb Cake, hoping that it's going to be more along the lines of that. So all of a sudden, there is some artsy splash of that beautiful paper. The background is really, really nice, actually. I need to take a picture of that before I move on, because it's going to be all wrecked, and then I won't have that photo to show. So sorry, guys. I have to take a picture close up just so that we have a better idea of what that looks like, so I can post it in the group. Okay. But now it's like, okay, let's make a project with it. So now we've got this beautiful piece of art. We are going to grab some basic beige. We're going to cut it in half as if we're getting ready for our card base. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And we're going to have the front like this. So remember I said it was the wrong shape. I really wanted to do this longer so that it kind of went the full length of the card. So keep that in mind when you're making it. I mean, either way works. You just improvise and it turns into something amazing. But what I want to do to add to this is I want to add something else. Or I want to try something else. So here is the lovely card front. Now I'm just looking at the dies that came with this. And sometimes there's like a label or something, but with the butterfly set, it's just dies that match to kind of cut out butterflies, which is okay. I mean, it is okay. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do that, because if the way I stamped this, if I go to cut it out, it's going to actually leave a gap at the bottom because it's stamped right at the bottom. And so I kind of didn't want that. If it was up a little bit higher, I would use that butterfly to cut it out and then reposition the 3D to make it super cute. But you know what? Maybe I'm going to do that with this one. Because it's smaller, this will cut it out. So let's try that. I'm going to run that through. If I cut an emboss machine, I'll grab that and I'll do it with you. This is all trial and error. I'm going to have to play and maybe come up with some other projects, but uh-oh, this isn't going to fit though because I didn't cut this to the right size. Oh, it does fit. It must still be 3.5 wide. That is awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this, place it. Now, if I were you, I would find some washi tape to kind of mount it down so it doesn't move. But for whatever reason, I don't have patience for that. So I'm just trusting the process that it's going to work. Whew, and it did. It did. So there, I have cut out that, my butterfly, and you're good to go. Okay, so now what I can do is I can take my bone folder. Let's go like this. Now this isn't exactly what I wanted to try and play with, but you know what, it's gonna work. And we can pop it up. Now I don't have any minis. I have to order more minis, and I'm gonna order them with my refills. But I can trim these down. If I can find my little scissors. I'm gonna trim these in half. Now, I know many of you guys already cut down your dimensionals just to kind of save and, you know, be a little thrifty, get more out of your pack. Good on you. I love using mine in whole. I don't have the patience. But now that I've cut it in half, though, I can easily double layer it. So I'm taking one, and I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to lift off the protective cover, and I'm going to add the other half over top. Whoops. So this is a way to make your project pop even higher than it normally would. Now before I put that down, I actually want to put dimensionals in all the corners. I want to pop up my card because, I don't know, I always pop up my card. This all of a sudden is no longer a simple card. So as I started this process, I was sharing you my simple card stamping process, but we're upping this just a little bit. Only because sometimes simple is hard for me. I do like stamping simply, but because I've been doing it for so long, I'm always like, oh, we need to add more. We need to add more. And we have all this pretty beautiful stuff, so let's add more. Okay, I did not want to mount this, so I kind of went with it. I have to do it. Let's hope that the other piece is dry. And so now that I added that, it's double high. In fact, I'm going to make that triple high. I don't think that's going to be high enough because I raised the backing, right? So I'm just going to get another half that I cut. Just trying to grab it. Here we go. I'm going to layer it on top. And because I'm using them, or I stamped them all in the same direction, like look the thickness of that. It just helps to bring it really, really high. And then I'm just going to mount it right on top. So it looks like you've made your own like spiral card, right? Now I might have wanted to cut those a little bit smaller because I do see them here. If they were half the size, you wouldn't see them as easy on the side. So keep that in mind. However, if that does bother you, you can always take your blends. Now again, be careful. You do not want to be coloring accidentally on your card, but you can go in and just color the tips of your dimensionals, because then they won't stand out as much, right? It went from being white and really being noticeable to now being almost the color of the card and not as noticeable. So that's just one way to kind of tone it down if it's standing out and it's kind of bugging you. But again, just make sure you don't mess up your card doing it, because you won't really have another chance to kind of go back and correct it. I mean, sometimes it's like, Okay, so we've got that on, and now it's just a matter of picking some pretty grading and making it beautiful. Where is, oh, I don't know why my phone's ringing. I'm trying to find what I did with that stamp set. I literally just had it. Must be underneath my cut and emboss machine. No, no, it's not. You guys, I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not walking away anywhere. How do my stamp sets walk away? Oh, it just kills me. I really do like that you brighten up my day. And remember those little itty bitty dies? I think these still work on here. Let's test it. Well, kind of. Not really. But it's nice and small. Okay, just wait. Let me test it out. I got lots of scraps. Let's do it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so this month, our craft room cleanup crew, they are working on finishing cleaning their workspaces. I have managed to keep my workspace clean for 1 full week, you guys. I cannot believe it. Oh, okay. My things all fell on the floor. Couldn't find them. But I found them. Okay. So, saving all your scraps. Hopefully you guys save all your scraps. This is about the smallest I saved them, which apparently is a good size because they fit that die. Okay, apparently I don't have my sandwiches properly. I really do need to have them all kind of lined up. And then it'll suck it through. I'm being lazy, that's all. But if you're finding that it's not sucking, it's because they're not all sandwiched properly together. So make sure that they're all sandwiched like a nice sandwich, and then it'll work for you. Okay, so here we go. Here is that little label. I'm gonna grab that word. Now the only problem is, doing it this way, is that because these are not photopolymer stamps, I can't see as well where to stamp it, right? So this is where you're going to want to use some scrap paper just to test out your words. Oh, that looks nice. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up, okay, just wait. Here's a trick. I'm going to move this closer to the top of my block, not the center, closer to the top. I'm going to ink it up. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to measure my block. I'm going to try to stamp so that the top of my block right here is aligned with the top of my paper here. So, I mean, you might have a Stamp-A-Majig, you might have the Stamp-A-Ratus, but, oh shoot, I just did it again. I did it wrong. Okay, just wait. I'm taking my stamp, I'm lining this up so the top of this is matching the top of my scrap paper. There we go, just like so. And the reason being is because now that I have this, I can mount this right on top to try and help me not miss the block. Ideally, I should have stamped first and then cut it out because this is so small. But now I'm just going to ink it, and now I'm going to measure the top of my block to the top there and stamp, and I should hit it. Yay! It worked. Except maybe this isn't the best die for this because, yeah, look at it, goes right to the top where it kind of bends in. But I mean, it's nice and small for on here. So we're gonna have to find a different die because I'm not happy with that at all. But at least you saw that little trick for lining things up. When you don't have photopolymer stamps, use your blocks as your guide because that really, really helps, because then you can always just put your paper over top and stamp. Okay, let's see what other dies we have to play with. My stylish shapes seem to have kind of walked away. Otherwise, I would use those. Let's see if this one does. This is our Cracker Treat box, and it has some of those dies. They're small, but they're not long enough. Sadly, that will not work. My gosh, I don't realize how many dies I don't have till I go do something like this. Okay, certainly the stylish dies are somewhere. Maybe one of you can tell me where they are. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, but you know what? You probably know my craft space just as good as I do. Okay, stylish shapes pop up. I did clean my craft room, however, there is stuff on my counter here because of having to try and find a new home for them. The stylish dies weren't one of them. So weird. Okay, well, you know what? In the absence of dies, that's okay. We use our scissors. And so that's what I'm going to do in this case, is I'm going to use my scissors. And we are actually going to trim this. I do want to trim it to be more narrower. I mean, you probably would use your paper trimmer, but I'm just going to use large scissors. And then I'm going to decide, do I want this to go right across my page, or do I want to turn this into like a little banner flag? So let's see. Oh, that looks lovely. We are going to trim this so that it fits that 3.5 wide piece of paper. So I am going to use my trimmer for this just because we want to try and mess things up as minimal as possible. Here we go. Oh, and look at that. This was longer than 3.5. Oh, well, it looks cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some twine. So the other thing I wanted to show you is the twine that we have comes in like a neutral color. It coordinates pretty good. It's not exactly a beige color at all. This is the cream color that goes with the basic vanilla. So they're two completely different colors, but they go nice. Like, they're nice and coordinate. I think I'm going to use this twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the side here just to have a little bit of knot. And in fact, I might do it 4 or 5 times. And I'm going to tie a knot at the back. So I'm going to just give this kind of like, what do they call those chairs that are all almost like a cane chair, but not a cane chair, but it's where all the string or the bamboo is all wrapped around. Can't think of what it's called. Wicker chair. Gosh, I don't know why that wasn't coming. I think it's because I didn't own any wicker chairs. Although I did, I shouldn't say that. I think I have one buried in the back of under my deck. I have to ask my husband if he still kept it or if he threw it away without me knowing. But it was my great grandmother's wicker chair that sat in her porch. And so I took it, I kept it. But it was like a weird plastic wicker. It wasn't like the nice kind of papery wicker that other people had. Okay, do you see how that looks? It almost looks like beach vibes. So it doesn't have a knot that stands out, but I'm going to try and do it on both sides, although I didn't quite stamp that perfectly. So we'll have to see what this ends up looking like. 1, 2, 3, 4 and around. So wrapped it around 4 times. Whoops. 4 times and then tie a knot. If I can keep doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. Did any of you guys had wicker furniture? Maybe you still do. Because I know some people had it as bedroom furniture. Some people had it as patio furniture. Even had friends who had living room furniture that was all done in that wicker. But it catches fire easily, so it is a fire hazard. And it was something I remember that they didn't want people to have in their homes, especially their bedrooms. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see. Okay. Now, I kind of didn't make this as pretty as I did the other one, so let's just fuss with this a bit with our fingers. Move it over. I do need to trim this a little more because it's showing over the edge and we don't want that. There. So it just kind of gives it a different little look. And in fact, I think what I will do is I will trim off a little bit of this side so that it matches more, or it aligns more with the other side. That's how I can fix it, because it was kind of bugging me. And then, oh, see, I did this one 5 times. I only did this one 4 times. Ah, hopefully you don't notice. Even though I just said to you, look what I just did. Okay, so we are going to put more dimensionals on here. Again, to pop it up. Now, because of this knot, I am going to have to double pop this. So we're double popping a lot of things. We are using a lot of dimensionals. But this is also a friendly reminder that you can do that, because I think sometimes we get stuck in our head that we just do a pop-up. We don't even think of doing like double pop-up. I mean, it's going to depend if you're mailing the card versus giving it to someone. Now, remember I had that weird gap up here? I think I'm going to put this up here instead of down low. Then that way it covers my gap. Wow, that's a completely different look card. Then don't forget, so I showed you the twine, but don't forget about your embellishments that come in your paper pumpkin packs, because the last paper pumpkin pack, what was it? And it came with these basic beige iridescent pearls. Don't remember what pack this was from. I think that this is from the kindness kit, which is supposed to be our next bingo piece. It's still on the online exclusives, but it's still unorderable, so I'm praying that it comes in by August 6th. I'm sure it will. Like, I'm pretty confident that it will come in before then. And if not, well, we will figure something else out. But anyways, all this is a reminder to use those little embellishments. So I'm going to add some of these as well, because why not? They are beautiful, basic beige iridescent pearls, which are so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to use 3 of them like that. But of course, you can add as many as you want. It's totally a different looking card. I don't think I would normally have made this if it wasn't for you guys, but I really do like how it turned out, just because it's very like watery and distressed. I hope you guys like that technique, because it is really cool. And remember that you can die cut and then just pop up that image of whatever's in that spot, because that is a super good technique as well. Now, speaking about paper pumpkin, don't forget to register for the next paper pumpkin, which registration or subscriptions end August 10th, because the next one is the birthday one that you end up getting the free extra stamp set, which comes with the number stamps. And I'm saying this because I have no idea what I'm going to make, but I know I'm going to use those number stamps for a Christmas countdown. So if you want to participate or make the Christmas countdown that is going to come, I highly recommend you subscribe to this month. Now, you don't have to subscribe. You can just subscribe for 1 month and then end your subscription right after. Or you can purchase a 3-month subscription, or I can just place an order for the subscription for you, like to order a box. So you can just let me know and I can let you know how much it costs. But because it does come with that extra stamp set, I highly recommend you guys pick that up, because who knows, maybe what I end up making is going to be like totally awesome. Okay, that is this. Okay, now our other one is dry. So let's see if this works on the other thing I wanted to make. Okay, I'm just folding this just to see, because the idea is that this is long, except it's not quite wide enough, but I wanted to show you using the designer series paper that you picked. So we picked some darker shades. We picked this one, which is super beautiful. Super beautiful. Actually, maybe before I do this, we're gonna play with this paper. Sorry, I'm like not knowing which direction I want to go in tonight. That card kind of messed me up because I wanted to use the front of that on a few different things to show you, but because I had to mount it, I may have to save those other projects for my reels this week and share them with you. Okay, what we're going to do with this 12 by 12 piece of paper is I want to make a little folio. There are a few of you guys who did this with us at Christmas time for the Beaumont Christmas elves. If you don't follow them, highly recommend you go do that, because there's always great initiatives and that going on at Christmas, and a lot of our stampers are connected to that and they do great things for that community, so we do want to support them. But what I want to do is I want to make a folio for my photos. So I'm finding that I'm printing more photos because I'm doing more scrapbooking, but then I have all these photos left over that I don't know what the heck to do with. So what I just did is I took this beautiful piece of paper, I scored it at 6 inches, which is in half, and I'm looking at the other side just to see what the pattern is. There is no pattern going in a direction, so I can go ahead and continue. And what I'm doing is I'm scoring again at 3 inches. Okay, so I'm taking a full piece of designer series paper, I'm folding it in half, giving that a score, and then where I turned it and scored it at 3 inches, it's just like this. This is a simple, quick way to make a pocket, and this is what we did at Christmas time last year for the Beaumont Christmas elves, and tucked a nice Christmas card, and then the elves did gift cards to send to some of those people in need who needed to buy some groceries and some fun things. And so it was just a nice way to deliver that parcel. But like I said, I am wanting to use it for photos because I have all these photos that I end up just laying everywhere. But I do want to scrapbook with them. But where can I put them so I can easily find them is in here. So here is one way to make a pocket, but look at that. They all just tuck in, and then they're kind of down there, and I don't really remember all of them that are there, and I have to sort through them. So this is how I normally make a folio, is what I call it, quotes, folio. Super simple and a great way to use your designer series paper. But let's add another layer to it, because why not? I want to see about adding a layer so that we can make pockets. Now, I haven't done that before, so we're just going to try. So I'm grabbing one of the other pages. Actually, no, where's the one that you guys, there was 2 that you guys chose. Here, this is it right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim this down. Because I scored this at 3 inches, I'm going to cut off 4 inches, like just 1 inch bigger. 4 inches, which is a good measurement just because of being able to make the most out of your paper. And now I've got a fun little pocket. Now I should have scored this before I put it in. You could always fold it in there, but I'm going to go ahead and just give that a score at 6 inches, so it's already scored. And in fact, I'm going to fold it in so that it's already folded too. There we go. But now I'm just going to line this up to see where I want it, how high, and I'm going to just make another pocket. But this time I don't want to put adhesive everywhere, right? I want to be careful where I put that. So I'm just going to put the adhesive at the bottom of the pocket, like so, and then up the side. Yay. And I'm going to use my tear and tape just because it's narrow already. I don't have to worry about it. It works slick, 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 slick. And then I'm going to use my pokey tool just because it works good. Okay. So what else? Oh, yeah, you guys were guessing what's in my cup. Is it water, ice, or a Slurpee? I'm going to reveal that as soon as I'm done this. We also revealed the winner from the last Monday's hashtag draw, And in case you missed it, that was Gloria. I will get that posted this week. So congratulations, Gloria. Those cards we made are yours, and I'll pop them in the mail to you. If you are a secret stamper, friendly reminder to get your cards in the mail and post your samples if you haven't yet. Let your secret stamper know that you received them. I did just get one returned to me, so I will reach out to let you know who you are, so that we can get that to you right away for this month. And that's why we put my address on the return address for that. If you're not part of Secret Stamper, what that is we have a group of people that send cards mysteriously to another group of people, like to a stamper. They're each secret stampers, so they each send to someone. And then at the end of the year, in December, we have a reveal party to see who that was sending cards all year round. So hopefully, the idea is we want you to be a good secret stamper, get your cards in the mail. And that's why I do these Make It Mondays, because hopefully it inspires you to get cards made. Okay, I don't know why this little piece isn't coming off, you guys. It's bugging me because I'm ripping the paper underneath. So I'm just going to leave it as is, or maybe I've already ripped the paper. And I'm going to tuck this in, leaving probably about 2 inches exposed above. It doesn't matter because, I mean, yeah, I'm going to pull this down and see the bottom, but ideally I'm not doing that on a regular basis. And in fact, if I wanted, I could also put the corners, like glue the sides. Now, let me just, you know what, maybe I will, because otherwise when I go to open this to show people, let's just make sure. Let's make sure that this all looks great. I just didn't want to because I don't want it to puff up too much. But you know what? I've just realized it's going to puff up. So we're going to save grief, and I am going to put it on the sides only. And it doesn't have to go right to the very bottom. It just has to be at the top so that it tucks and closes nice. And then we will make a lovely front. So you could turn this into a little mini album. You could tuck a card in it. You can add some gift cards, some photos for a friend, or just use it for yourself. That's what I'm doing. I am using it because I need to store photos, and I want them in something cute. Oh, look, there's my missing paper. And I'm going to just on here like this. Yay! Because now I can, like, see my pictures that I have in here. And if I want some more, then here they are up here. Obviously, I'm going to do them this way and this way. But now I've got room for many pictures instead of just shoving them all in one spot, which is also going to make it thicker. Now they'll all just kind of be laid. And you know what? We can put in our cards to send to a friend. Here, let's put pictures on this side. Because you know what? Maybe I went through my camera roll and I printed a bunch of pictures. And now I want to send a nice card to a friend. Oh, look at that. It tucks in so nicely, too. Just like that. Oh, my gosh, you guys. I see a perfect gift going to someone. Okay, so now that we have that in there, and remember I showed you that beautiful, beautiful ribbon? Let's use it. Let's pull it out. We are going to put some ribbon around. I'm going to make it just a little bit longer because I want to be able just to tie a ribbon. Ideally, I'd love to tie a shabby ribbon, but because this is a gift and it's going to be open and closed, I'm not going to do that. But I do need to do something for the front. Boom, boom, boom. And do I want to waste that beautiful artwork on the front? Oh, but then it kind of like blends with that pattern. What do you guys think? Do I want to do that? Or I can put a whole card front, so it's like you're decorating a card. Let me cut that card front in half. Actually, I'm going to trim it to 4 inches. 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Oh no, it still has to be 4½. Never mind. Because of this to go just as long. Do, do, do. And I wanted, that looks really cool actually. Okay, you know what? We're doing it. So all of a sudden we're going to be recreating what I just did. Which I guess we should, because look at, if I take that off, if we re-put the card on there, look how beautiful that looks on the front. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I feel like I might kill myself, but I'm going to actually cut up this card. And I'm going to put it on the front. Sound good? Okay, bear with me. I got to take a picture. Photo time. We got to take a picture of the card before I destroy it. Oh, obviously one of you are not getting this card unless all of a sudden I feel like making a whole bunch of more of them. We'll have to find something else to give away tonight. Because I need this folio. But I'm hoping you will make the folio. Actually, I do have something to give away. Oh my gosh, it's upstairs. Okay. Just a sec. Tom, could you please bring down that pile of stuff that's on the, it's on the blanket box? Well, it's like, I just can't say it out loud because I'm on my live, but it's something that is it's something that's fun. Okay. I know I'm really confusing him because he's like, what am I looking for? Because I just had an Amazon order come. I got stuff for my retreat, by the way, which is September 26th. People are waiting patiently for the cost. I'm just waiting for him to confirm. I'm thinking it's going to be $200. Plus you have to take care of your own accommodation. So the hotel, but I'm waiting for him to give me kind of our group rate on what that hotel will be. He emailed me today to confirm he's working on the quotes. It's just his girlfriend broke her ankle. I can relate. So he hasn't been at work, so he's working on it. But we still have the dates. We are going 100%. It is likely that the retreat cost is $200 plus you'll have to book your own accommodations. We're staying at the Best Western in Wetaskiwin, so you can choose to go home and come back every day, or you can choose to spend the night there. I will be spending the night there just so that I can crop late. I don't even think we have a time limit on how late we can stay up, which is good. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, it is. Thank you. So yes, my little prize for you is in here. So you'll have to be online to win the prize because I don't want to delay you guys again like I did the other day. We gave extra time for those watching the replay, but unfortunately we're not going to do that today. Okay, so I ended up cutting that card front, which you guys, this is a reminder what you could do. Now you're going to make a whole bunch of these. The next time you need a little gift, some of those cards that you've been hoarding from people and you need to let go of, cut the card front of the one that you really, really love. And now all of a sudden you have a card front for your folio that you're going to give away to someone. And then you can make a coordinating card to put in there. Okay, so here is my string. I am now going to actually pop up, again, me and dimensionals, you guys, I'm obsessed. So again, we're just guessing what is in Trisha's cup. And everyone who ends up getting it right, your name's going to go in a draw for a prize. So, you want to guess correctly. So it's one of three things. Oops, I put that in the middle. I don't want that in the middle. I want it just a little bit below because I want room for my ribbon to slide back and forth just in the center. Okay, so I'm going to peel that off. Should be using my pokey tool. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm just guessing where center is. Dun, dun, dun. So now that big piece of beautiful paper folded up with a card front in as the front turns into an absolute beautiful masterpiece. Okay, so don't forget to use your beautiful designer series paper. Don't forget, if you order designer series paper from me during that sale in August, I'm going to print for you the cardstock sampler because you're going to want that. Okay, and there, just a nice big beautiful ribbon, and then whoever is the receiver is going to open it up and they're going to receive wonderful little project. Is that beautiful? Now I do want to make a matching tag. I'm not going to do that with you guys tonight, but I'm going to do a coordinating tag in there, and maybe that's what I'll end up doing with that piece. So stay tuned. Again, it just makes a lovely little gift for someone, and I just love the fact, because these are 6x6, if you do a horizontal card, it just makes for that extra loveliness when they open it up to kind of get your card, and it saves you from having to do an envelope. Obviously, if you're going to give this as a gift and you have to mail it, you might have to mail it in a larger envelope, and it will cost you extra postage. But for the most part, if you're going to hand deliver something, this will be nice in a gift bag. And it's just a nice gift in itself, depending what you put in. So I hope you like that project. It's just a reminder that your cards can be turned into anything. They can be turned into scrapbook pages, memory books, into one of these wonderful folio gifts. And it's just, you know, makes you smile. This is going to make me happy every time I open it to find pictures. And what I like about this too is it is thin, because I thought about making a box to share with you guys as a card box or photo box to put my photos in, but then it's too bulky and I have to find somewhere for this, whereas if I end up making a whole bunch of folios, they'll slide nicely on the shelf. I just have to be careful of what to put on front, because you don't want too much popping up, otherwise things will fall off as you're putting it in and out. But this might be my first one, and it can be the one that's highlighted or on display in front with everything else in behind. So anyways, use up your designer series paper, make beautiful things like this, and you'll just be pleased, and whoever you give it to will be pleased. So have fun making some of that. I hope you like that technique of actually watercoloring on colored cardstock, because we tend to not do that. And I think it just looks so fantastic. So you guys, all your guesses are in. I'm just going to put people's names on my phone on the name wheel so they guys can watch me do this. I will make a tag. That's what I'll commit to. I'll make a coordinating tag. It's not going to be exactly like this card, but it will be using the water splash. So whoever wins this prize will get a lovely tag made with that watercoloring, as well as the little prize that I have for you. So let me just find the name wheel. I'm not sharing it on the screen because now that I'm on a Facebook Live and I finally figured out how to use my computer for it, I don't want to like mess it up. Because I'm not in Zoom, I can't easily share my screen. Okay, so you guys, the drinks I have in my mug in the summer are water, ice, and Slurpee. And so we're guessing tonight what it is. I had ice in there all morning, but I ate it all. I even added some water, drank it. And on the way to Tom's mom's tonight after work, I filled up with a slushie. So those of you guys who guessed Slurpees, guessed correctly. Congratulations. So I'm just going to go back and kind of see who all that was. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I see Joanne guessed Slurpee. Joanne, you did guess that all by yourself. Good job. Okay. So you will get a gorgeous tag made with the butterflies, but you know what else you're going to get? You are the proud winner of a Slurpee air freshener. I freaked out when I saw these because I've never seen Slurpee air fresheners before. And I'm at 7-Eleven all the time. I found these in Innisfil. I think it's Innisfil, or maybe it's Crossroads at 7-Eleven. That's between Calgary and Edmonton. They always have the coolest stuff, but I had to get these. So I got one for me. And Joanne, now one is for you. But I will put a super cute tag on it for you. Congratulations. And way to guess what that was. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Make It Monday with Basic Beige. So keep following along on Instagram and Facebook just for the love of stamping to kind of see what projects get posted this week. Looking forward to kind of final or wrapping up our shades of summer this week with this color. And it's just amazing how when you add a little bit of color, what that looks like. But don't worry, to those of you who wanted babies, so Lorette, I will do a baby card to post this week as well. But we'll get these uploaded and posted in the Heart Stampers so that you can recreate this folio on your own. So thanks for joining me, you guys. Bye-bye. Until next week. Take care.